Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Making an Impact with the Zebu Nation. And today we have for you the quarter season update for the 2020 MLS regular season, of course with the Montreal Impact. Now, I gotta say, it's been a while since I've played this save. I've had just so many other games to play, and also I've had such a huge backlog that I kind of forgot what was going on. So I had to play a couple of games just to get back in the rhythm of this save and remember what the heck is going on. So I did that, and that brings us to this quarter season update. Now, last game that you saw was, of course, the Champions League second leg of the semifinals, where we lost 3-0 to Lyon. It's very heartbreaking, crushing defeat. I'd put a lot into this Champions League run. I thought this Champions League run had set up perfectly for us. You know, we played two MLS clubs in the early rounds, two beatable MLS clubs, and we beat them fairly easily. Not a lot of problems with those two teams. And then we played what I thought was the most beatable Mexican side in the tournament, which was Lyon. They weren't a great team, but they came back and beat us, and I was unhappy about that. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about MLS. And up to this point in the season, our MLS campaign has not been going well. Have a lot of draws, a lot of losses, and it hadn't been going well. So sort of had to rekindle things and actually play our starting unit, our starting lineup, and we did that finally against DC United. Played what is pretty much 90% of our starting lineup, maybe 85% of our starting lineup. Basically everybody except our two strikers are people who I think should be our starters, including our new goalkeeper, Thiago. Duverne is in there. Our new young fullback, Pantami, 19 years old, but look at this kid. He's really good. I mean, technically he's got some issues, but physically and mentally he's ahead of everybody else on the roster at left fullback. Might as well put him in there. Well, that's not true. He's in there because Taylor is injured. But, you know, as far as anybody else other than Taylor, he's better. So, a little caveat there. But anyway, played Piet at defensive midfielder, Junior Ramos in the midfield. So, you know, another one of our new guys got in there, the Brazilian. He got the player of the match with a 9.0 rating and a goal. Mane, Romero, Mendez, our other new striker, the 29-year-old Frenchman that we picked up. We panic bought this guy, but he's still pretty good. And then Dupuis. Dupuis had an excellent game, had an assist, had a goal, 8.6 rating, so he was pretty good. Let's go to the field and check out the goals and see how we did. And we started out this game pretty good. You know, from start to finish, I felt like, okay, I'm not going to say DC United is a good team. They're actually one of the worst teams in the league this season. But, you know, we were dominant and we felt dominant. So I think this starting lineup is going to be pretty good. There's Dupuis just hanging out. Gets his first goal. That was an easy goal, but he managed to put it in the back of the net. Then here's Dupuis again getting past the defense. He doesn't do that very often, but great pass into our new man, Mendez, for the goal. That puts us up 2-0 in the first half. So we're kind of cruising to the second half. And then we get to the 82nd minute. Here's Piet dancing around with it. Gets it forward to Petrasso. Great first touch. Great cross back to Mane. And there's an easy goal. Oh, he's pointing at the goalkeeper. That's no good. That's bad sportsmanship. But anyway, 3-0 victory over DC United. Happy about that. Got us on track. I think it showed what our starting lineup can do. And it's interesting that we had 19,000 against DC United, which that's a pretty good crowd. I think our stadium is only like 20,000, you know, just shy of 21,000. So to get 19,000 is pretty good. Then we came back against Philadelphia, only 12,000 on the night. That's pretty bad. So I guess they knew how bad Philadelphia was and how much of a rotated side we were going to play because because of the Champions League, our schedule is still a little crunched. So we played another fully rotated side here, just about fully rotated side. Everybody different except for Thiago, our central defense, and Dupuis. Those are the only same guys from the previous game, and we managed to win 1-0. And again, it was Dupuis, 8.5 rating, man of the match, got the only goal of the game. And, of course, it was one of his classic headers, because that's what he's best at, really. But I'm happy, our reserves have gotten a lot of playing time thanks to the Champions League. And it's paying off right now. If we can mix them in, here's Lopez to Maricol, another one of our youngsters, and Dupuis with a long header, just a perfectly placed ball. And that's all we needed. 1 goal is all we needed against Philadelphia. They got some problems again this year. They're not too good. But anyway, that's where we are. We picked up 2 wins, and that's good, and that brings us to a decent spot here in the first quarter. We're 6th place in the Eastern Conference. We're just holding on to that last playoff spot. 17th overall in the Supporters' Shield. So again, the Western Conference is much, much better than the Eastern Conference. Maybe we can take a look at that real quick here. You can look at the leader in the Eastern Conference has 15 points. That would be good for 6th place in the Western Conference. So that shows you just how much better the Western Conference is this season, and they were last season too. But San Jose and Portland already have more than 20 points on the season. Vancouver, LA, Colorado, LA Galaxy. They're all playing pretty well. Even the teams that aren't in the playoffs right now. Real Salt Lake, Sporting Kansas City, Houston Dynamo, FC Dallas. All of those guys would be in the playoffs if they were in the Eastern Conference. So, good luck to those guys battling it out in the Western Conference, and we're going to have maybe a slightly easier road to the playoffs here in the Eastern Conference, so that's good for us. But yeah, after 8 games, we got 3 wins, 2 draws, 3 losses, total of 11 points, and a 0 goal differential. So we got to work on that. We got to score some more goals and maybe play some better defense. But so far, we've been okay. Take a look at the stats a little bit. We're nowhere on the list for goals scored. That's no good. We definitely have to improve that. Headers, that's not really too important. Possession, we're not on the list. San Jose is number 1. By the way, Portland's number 1 in the league in goals. Tackles, okay, we're tied for 2nd in the league in tackles, so that means we're playing a lot of defense, so maybe offense is our problem this season. Least concessions, we're tied for 6th with only 9 goals allowed. Look at Colorado. Only 6 goals allowed. That's crazy. And they're not even at the top of the conference. So they've got offensive woes of their own. Most shutouts, of course, Colorado. We're tied for 4th with 4 shutouts. So defensively, I think we're playing okay. Offensively is where we need to kick it up a notch. We're not on the list for fouls. Again, that's Colorado at the top of the list. Possession, not on the possession list. That's San Jose. That makes sense. Or passes completed. That makes sense. San Jose, most passes completed. Best average possession. Most crosses completed. Again, Portland, number 1. There we go. We're 3rd in the league. I guess that's something to hang your hat on. We're completing our crosses. It's just those crosses aren't going in for goals. We've got striker issues, perhaps. And then best at hitting the target. We're 6th. So I think, maybe just lack of opportunity might be our problem in terms of goals scored. Who knows? But, we definitely need more goals. Let's just make it simple. Score more goals. Let's go. Take a look at the player stats real quick. Andres Rios from San Jose is the number 1 goal scorer right now with 9 goals. Coleman is in there from FC Dallas. There's, of course, a lot of familiar names. Adi, Dom Dwyer, looking good over there now. He's in LA Galaxy. Look at who's crept onto the list at 6th place, Nick Dupuis, with 5 goals on the young season. So he's been wanting more playing time. We've been giving him some playing time, and it's, I guess, paying off for him. Maybe not paying off for the rest of the squad, but he's getting some goals. Most assists, Lucas Milano from the Portland Timbers. That's, I think, a new name. 27-year-old Argentinian right midfielder. Valued at 5.25. Where did this guy come from? Has he been in the league for a while and I just didn't realize? He has. He's been in the league for 3 seasons, and he's just now coming into his own, I suppose. And he's up there teaming with Blanco, of course, again, at the top of the league. Giovinco has moved up to the top of the league. I think he's gone back to striker a little bit this season, so that's good for them. Oh, no, this is assists I'm talking about, so scratch that. Anyway, distance traveled, nobody on the list. Nicholas Lodero from Seattle. A lot of Seattle guys up there, so they're playing a different system this year. Mabiala, most tackles for Portland. Okay, so they've got a lot of individual achievements right now for Portland. Least concessions, Gleason from Real Salt Lake. Malia from Sporting KC. Where's the Colorado guy? They've only allowed 6 goals. Their goalkeepers must not have enough games to qualify. Anyway, most shutouts. There he is, Julian Fay Lund. 5 shutouts in 6 appearances. So I guess 6 appearances isn't enough. Most tackles, Russell Canus from Sporting KC. That's good. Nobody from our teams. We don't have a lot of individual performers this season. Hector Villalba, most dribbles, good for him. Key passes, Carlos Vela, playing very well for LAFC. Diaz, Diego Valeri, Giovinco, a lot of familiar names on that list. Wallison, that's not a familiar name. 31-year-old Brazilian. LA got him for $130,000 last year. Only had 10 appearances, so they must have picked him up mid-season. But now he's playing good for them. And best at hitting the target, of course, Dom Dwyer. There's Nick Dupuy with 3rd in the league, 57%. That's what I like to see. So maybe we should be playing Dupuy more often. He's responding to what playing time he's getting. All right. Speaking of responding, do we want to go through the checklist? Is that really the quarter season checklist sounds reasonable? The academy, pretty much as it was. Benzaza and the 17-year-old Daniels. We got some good midfielders coming up through the ranks. That's good. Xavier Aubrey, central defender. Miguel Valenzuela, defensive midfielder. So I think, right now, we don't have a ton of good young midfielders. So it's good, or at least academy midfielders. So it's good that we got a nice crop of them in the academy right now. So they'll be able to get signed in, 2 years, basically. All right. Finances, we're looking real good financially. $11.6 million in the bank. Profit this season of $5.5 million. This is outstanding. Last year, we had a negative balance, negative $5 million. So, we have slashed the payroll, but so far the results are pretty much the same. You can see here we got a $25 million payroll. We're only spending 6.9 of it. It's pretty good. Still got a $2.8 million transfer budget. League specific general allocation, we're a little low. We're only down to $275,000, so we can't fit too many more players in the roster, even though we have another designated player slot. So that could be a possibility, but right now I don't have any plans for it. Let's see, what else do we got here? We got some targeted allocation money, so we could still lower our budget a little bit that way. So we could take one of our designated players, lower their salary by $500,000, and then bring in another designated player. So that's how we would do that if we found somebody valuable enough and who would fit with the team. But I don't think we need to. We've already made several moves. The board... Job security is secure, so this is good. 56%. We're working on some projects right now, improving the training facilities. We looked for an affiliate club, couldn't really find one. We improved the data facilities. We could probably do that again, but I don't know if you can do that. Senior affiliates, negotiate expand the ground. I don't think we need to do that. Increase the coaches' salaries. Well, wait a minute. No, I thought maybe we could increase the youth, but no, we're as high as we're going to go this season. I think they've already agreed to a lot of stuff this season, so maybe that's why we don't have many options left to us. The board has already said yes to everything they could say yes to. In terms of confidence levels, we're looking okay. Philosophies, leadership, finances they're a little weird about. I'm not sure why. Due to salary restrictions in place, the board have no comment to make regarding the matter. So they look at it as them controlling the finances, I guess, even though they've given me a $25 million budget. Anyway, they're not super happy with our competitions and stuff so far. I think it's just too early in the season. They don't really have any judgment at this moment. The club is still looking okay. Do we have Kyle Laren is now a favored personnel, as is Jackson Amell and Romero. So that's pretty good. Those guys are making their way up the list. News, we got some pretty mundane pieces of news, not too much going on. Dupuis sharp in a win. Definitely saw that. He played very well in both those games. Junior Ramos got named Team of the Week, so very good for him. We had a loan bid for Pantami, but I think we're going to use him a lot this season, so I'm going to keep him on the bench. Let's see. Anybody else? Boxall, not likely to get called up for New Zealand. That's good. We kind of need him a little bit this season. Not much else going on. Thiago made his debut. Both those games, 2 shutouts. So it's good debut for Thiago. Transfer-wise, hopefully you saw all of our transfers and trades and everything. We've been searching around for some stuff, trying to, trade draft picks and other things, and not been too successful. Look at our transfer history. Sent plenty of guys out on loan this season, a ton of guys out on loan. Picked up a lot of players as well. Saw Mendez, we got for $400,000. Thiago, $650,000. Duverne for $4.5 million. Ramos for $88,000. So we spent quite a bit of our transfer budget this season. Trades, I'm catching myself up more than you, I think. If you've watched the videos, you probably remember all this, and I've forgotten it all. Traded away Ross Purdy. He was a good player, but we got a draft pick for him. We spent some allocation money to get some international slots. We sold our international slots for some allocation money. Big trade. We traded one of our top draft picks, Matt Noyes. And honestly, we could use this guy a little bit this season. Left winger, pretty good player. We got 2 draft picks for him, a first-round pick and a second-round pick, and some allocation money. So I thought he wasn't going to be a starter. We already had at least 2 guys ahead of him in the depth chart. So as much as we could possibly use him for depth should anybody get hurt, I don't think we necessarily needed him, and we got some value out of him. And then we traded a couple of our draft picks for another international slot. So we got a lot of our international slots back that we traded in other seasons, basically. Let's see. Scouting competitions. We've looked at this. Medical center. Get us caught up. Johnson, Laren, and Salmon are all still injured. So, we're going to have some issues with Kyle Laren out in terms of needing to score more goals, and our best goal scorer is out. But for now, I don't think we're going to worry about it too much. Taylor, Salmon, a lot of guys who are worried in the medical center, but so far they're holding together. Not a ton of injuries to worry about, just some big ones, some important ones. Training staff, I don't think we've looked at the staff in a while. Not that we've necessarily needed to or wanted to. We could look at training. I think this is probably the best way to look at coaches, the best way to see where you're at. Got our defensive coach here, Cedric Fabian. Pretty good. Good fitness coach, mentals, defensive, technical, so he's all right. Best training category is strength, so it's funny. We should probably make him the strength coach, but I'd rather him be the defensive coach. Gives us an extra half star in the defense, and we don't really, we don't have a full coaching staff. Montreal's a little chintzy, a little cheap when it comes to coaching staff, but we're making do. Bernier is our attacking coach, attacking of only 11, so we've got him on ball control and tactics. Kloppus is also an attacking coach, also a fitness coach, also a better strength coach than he is an attacking coach. He's probably like a 4-star strength coach. Yeah. And only so maybe we got some of these backwards. Duverne, what's he looking at? 18 fitness, so he's not gonna get any better than that. So he's a 4-star fitness coach. That's good. And then Paolo Pacione. There's no 2 C's, so I don't know if it's got the ch. I don't know. I'm not real great with Italian names, but anyway, he's a pretty decent fitness coach. 14 fitness. He can't do anything else. So we already have 2 fitness coaches, so I don't know why we would assign more people to be fitness coaches. Anyway, there's old Bots, Joel Bots. He's our goalkeeping coach, 3 stars. Crazy French-Canadian man, but he's a very good coach. You can see that. Shot stopping, 19. Handling, 18. Distribution, 19. So he's a really good coach. And then our assistant coach, old Wilfred. He's our tactical guy. 13 tactics. Not great, but it's okay. Good enough for 3.5 stars. And then Zebu Nation, just sort of average everywhere except for technical. That's why I'm taking over the ball control and the shooting dude. He's got 20 technical. I didn't even realize that. So, very, very technical coach. All right. Dynamics, we're looking good. Good, very good. So not a lot of problems. Dupuis wants to leave to get first-team soccer. Mike Wynn wants to leave to get first-team soccer. We're going to try to make some moves in the July transfer window. But until then, we're kind of stuck with whatever we got. So, and most of the moves I'm going to make in July will be sending guys out trying to get money in return for them, and we'll see what happens. Money or draft picks or both. But anyway, I don't know that we'll sell Dupuis and Win. Maybe one of them, but probably not both of them because we kind of need them. Anyway, especially the way Dupuis is playing, maybe now is the time to cash in on him. What's he valued at right now? 550,000. His stats are going down. He's 25 years old, so maybe now is the time to cash in on Dupuis. But yeah, we'll think about that for the July window. Let's see. We could trade him within the MLS right now, but nobody in MLS wants to do anything right now, so we'll figure that out later. Squad, yep. Everything else is fine. All right, so let's get to today's matchup, which will be against Orlando City, and they're okay. Right now they are above us, 5th place, so this could be an important game for us. If we get 3 points here, that could jump us all the way up here to 2nd or 3rd place with Columbus. So we're going to go form number 2. Not a lot of partnerships brewing right now in the middle of the field or anywhere else other than central defense. We might have to switch out our central defense because we just played 2 days ago. Got another, not rotated side. It's the opposite of a rotated side. We got most of our starters back in the game because we had such a heavily rotated squad last game. But the one exception might be central defense here. Well, let's look at the match preview first, I guess. So Orlando 6-4 favorites. What has Orlando been up to this season? Got an interesting lineup. Let's go to, can we go to their team? Go to their team. Major League Soccer, Orlando City. Let's see what moves they've made this season. A lot of draft picks. Some free, some guys from the re-entry drafts and the waiver drafts. A couple of guys from their academy. So that's good. A lot more academy players are starting to make their way into MLS. Looks like a lot of super draft picks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 super draft picks. A couple of free agents. Brian Arguez, defensive midfielder, 31 years old. William Velasquez, 23-year-old Venezuelan. He looks pretty good. Defensive center back. Yeah, that's the defensive center back. All right. And then their big move, I guess, is Wellington Puralito, 220,000. Brazilian. Another central defender. He's okay. Nothing exceptional, but pretty okay. Did they make any trades worth mentioning? They traded their waiver pick to Columbus for their 3rd round pick in the super draft. Okay, so that's where I guess they got that extra draft pick. Traded away a couple of their 2020 draft pick, 2nd round and 4th round for Darren Maddox. 29-year-old Jamaican striker / winger, defensive forward. Very pacey. He could be trouble. Not maybe a goal scorer, but he can do some other things. And then they also traded away Gabriel Arroyo. I'm going to pronounce that Arroyo. To DC United for a 1st and 3rd round pick. So they made some okay moves. That's fine. All right, now our team. Let's take a look. Okay, so we did fully rotate the side. All right, that's fine. So on the bench, we're going to have Mendez, Romero, Edwards, Piet, Gilio, Boxall, and Lutweiler. So a lot of familiar names there on the bench. Let's proceed to the match. What will they go with? Will they go with their classic 4-2-3-1? No, they're going with the 4-1-2-3, changing it up a little bit. Sending their fullbacks forward, they got Bendick in goal. Shakira, Spector at the fullbacks. Velasquez, Wellington, Pirot, central defense. Roswell, Fredes, Leggett, De Silva, Gat, and Maddox. Looks like Gat is their leading goal scorer. It's interesting. Right winger, perhaps. 3 goals on the season is their top goal scorer. Not so good. And Maddox is playing up top as a striker. So they're I don't know that we're going to have a lot of goal-scoring problems from Orlando. And they got a defensive forward as their top goal scorer with 3 goals. And they're, All right, we'll see. Anyway, we're going with Thiago in goal. Pantami, the youngster, the 19-year-old, on the left side at fullback. Duverne on the right. Cabrera and Chevalier, another young academy player. He's taking the captain's armband to tell you, like, this kid he's one of the futures of the club. Let's not mince words here. Like, he's definitely a guy who is going to be important to this club going forward, important to the nation going forward in terms of Team Canada. So we got to get him playing time as we can. Andre and Ramos in the midfield, starting to hopefully form a nice partnership. Petrasso and Mane at the wings. They're both playing very well. Jackson Amel and Vasquez up top. Another one of our young academy players. 6 goals for Jackson Amel. He's our top goal scorer. So let's go. Strange that he wasn't on the goal scoring list. Maybe, okay, so he's probably got goals in the Champions League. That's why he's our leading goal scorer. All right, come on, guys. Show me what you can do. Opposition instructions. Let's apply the team advice. Let's go. Close down on Maddox, I suppose. De Silva, sure, why not? And Gat, definitely Gat. And then their fullbacks are definitely also coming forward. Not you. Spector. So we're going to close down on the fullbacks as well. See how rambunctious they get. All right, here we go. The purple wall is out in effect. Look at this crowd in Orlando. Who would have figured? Do we have some sort of rivalry with Orlando that I don't know about? Because this is a heck of a crowd for a mid-season MLS game. We shall see. Got the sound turned back on, so that's good. Oh, yeah. It's been a while. Hopefully we can get back in the swing. Those 2 wins were pretty good. 2 shutout wins, plus 4 goal differential in those 2 games that brought us back to 0. I'll show you how bad we were playing before then. Well, yeah, let's see. What sort of highlights do we have here? Extendo highlights. All right, here's Chevalier. Duverne. Let's go. Let's move the ball downfield, boys. Vasquez, I want to see more out of Vasquez. More than that, for sure. He played really well for Team Canada. I thought he got, his mojo a little bit. I want to see if he can be a lead dog, a lead goal scorer for us. If possible. If he can be, then we can trade, not Kyle Aaron. But, ooh, there's a good tackle by Chevalier. Back post to De Silva. He's going to chase it down. Being hassled by Duverne. Goes right around Duverne, but there's Junior Ramos. Playing that box-to-box. Vasquez, can he get it to the target man? Jackson is wide open. Chest sit down, tackled by Purlito, but Petrasso. Andre with the shot. All right, that was a good attack. That was a good attack. So who am I thinking of selling here? Mendez is who I'm thinking of selling. I know we just brought him in. But here's an interesting thing. Like, we can bring guys into the league and then sell them to other people in the league for draft picks and stuff like that. Because money is fairly irrelevant to an MLS team. Not completely irrelevant, but mostly irrelevant. You know, you can get through. If you had no transfer budget ever in MLS, you could get through just fine. Because you get all the funny money from MLS that you can use, you know, on contracts. You get all the draft picks. You get all the waiver drafts, all that stuff. So money isn't that important to an MLS in terms of transfer money. It's not that important to an MLS club. So if we bring a guy in for what we brought him in for, which was not a lot, $400,000 or whatever, and then we can trade it away and get a bunch of draft picks or some allocation money that we can use to bring in even more players, we could make it into a little weird cottage industry, I think. Oh, what happened there? We got so lucky. So lucky in front of goal. Went off the crossbar. Instead of going in, it went out. And then they got called for offside. So, luck. Oh, the French? I don't know. Doesn't quite roll off the tongue. That's luck of the Irish. How are we doing here? Not too good. Vasquez, 6.3. Mane, 6.3. Petrasso, 6.4. Junior Ramos has a slight injury. We'll keep an eye on that. What does our coaches say? Bruised ankle, you're fine. Franco has made a lot of mistakes today. We can take him out eventually. Headers, no. Shots, okay, we'll work the ball in the box. That's reasonable. Anything else? Here we go. Here's a highlight. Okay. Interesting tackle there. Looks like we're going to get a corner kick out of it. I can't believe how packed Orlando Stadium is. Oh. Nothing happened. All right. Good for them. 2 minutes of stoppage time in the first half. So this has been a pretty boring first half. Not a lot has happened, but kind of assumed that against Orlando they would be a little bit offensively challenged. I just was hoping their defense wouldn't be quite as good. All right, so tactics. I think we'll look for the underlap and see how that changes things. Underlap and work the ball in the box. Sure. Why not? That sounds good. Dressing room. Pep talk. Let's be assertive. Not happy with your performance out there. There we go. Fired them up. Let's go, boys. Second half. Score some goals. We are in the whites, by the way, if you didn't guess that. You know, the home purples probably gives it away, but, you know, just in case. Here's Petrasso up to Jackson. Out wide. Not a good pass. Romero's not even on the field. That was Ramos. Like I said, it's been a while since I played with this team. I got to remember all the names. 50 minutes and counting. Yeah. All right, so Vasquez is looking fired up with his 6.3 rating. Mane with a 6.2. The 60-minute point, we're going to have to make some kind of changes. Ramos is back to fitness. That's good. Still only a 6.6 rating, though. All right, 60 minutes. Let's make some changes here. I think for sure we're going to bring in Romero for Mane. Whatever reason, he's not playing well. And then I guess, I mean, even though Vasquez is looking motivated, he's not doing nothing. 6.2 is really bad. So we're going to bring in the veteran Mendez and let him play up there. He's not a natural advanced forward. He's actually more of a target man. But we don't need more target men. We got enough for them. We got target men coming out of our ears. Andre is trying to chase down Fredes. Can't get there. Maddox has it. Gonna drop it back. See if Orlando can build up their attack at midfield. Sasha Kleshchin in the game with Fredes. Gets it forward to Maddox, the defensive forward. He's got the wingers trying to get ahead in attack position. I don't know how this attack is going to go. No, they're having problems. They can't penetrate the center of our defense. Here's Petrasso with a free kick. Let's see what he can do with it. Sends it in. Jackson gets a head down to Romero. Just a bit outside. Okay. Yeah. 66 minutes and counting. It would be very nice to get a highlight. Highlight or two, or maybe even a 3 would be nice. Here we go. Jackson O'Mell. Let's go. Drops it to Junior Ramos. Tries to get it forward to Mendez. He outmuscles one defender with the shot. All right. Let me get a corner out of it. That's at least something. At least something happened. Mendez showing that strength. Petrasso sends it in. Romero tried to go for that. That's an interesting choice of target. But here's Fredes sending it downfield. Gat. One-on-one with the young fullback. And he makes a tackle. Look at that. Good job, young man. Even with the yellow card. Ooh. But he's feeling fine. 6.9 rating. He's our best rated defender right now, so everybody else needs to pick up the pace. Andre gets it down to a Junior. Out wide to Petrasso. Let's go. 74 minutes. Let's see if we can pick one up. I think first goal wins this game. Romero out wide. He's got some space. He's working around the defender. Centers it. Jackson O'Mell can't get the header. Oh, Petrasso. Now he's down to a 6.2 rating. Yeah, I can take him out too. Don't tempt me. We got Raheem Edwards sitting on the bench. All right, I'm going to do it. You can't stop me. Raheem Edwards coming in. Let's replace 3 of our forwards. All right, 81 minutes. What's Edwards up to these days? He's looking okay, I guess. He's got the pace. Dribbling, crossing, okay. First touch, okay. Not really, but, you know, screen at least. That's something. Leadership, flair, I mean, mentally is where he's got speed and a good attitude, basically, is what you get. But anyway, here's Mendez getting forward. Not offside. Tries to center it. Drops back to Duverne, who's getting forward. Andre, my man. Not a good shot. Not a good shot. There's Orlando with a free kick. Arguez is in the game. Gets it to Sasha Kleshchin. See what he does with it. Back to Arguez. Defense is looking pretty solid right now. We got everybody marked. Duverne, nice header. Andre, not a great header. Good steal by Ramos. Here we go. Junior gets it forward. Mendez, what's he going to do with it? He's going to take a little trip down memory lane. He's got Romero getting forward. Good pass, sort of ish. Good enough. Good thought. And it's like we're stuck in molasses. Just everything is laborious. There's a terrible throw. Ramos intercepts. Gets it to Jackson O'Mell. He gets it to Mendez. Around. This looks like a team that hasn't played together much. and that's true. Even though we've played so many games, we've had so many different lineups. Ramos almost with a shot. Had so many different lineups. Nobody's been able to sort of get that team chemistry going. So hopefully that's all we're missing. Our defense has stepped up. Pantomia up to a 7.1. Cabrera 7.4. DeVerne with a 7.0. 3 minutes of stoppage time coming up. Here's Sebastian legit throws it in. He's been around the league. He's back to Orlando. Andre gets it forward. Jackson Amell looking, gets Mendez. Here comes Romero. No, he sends it other side. Tries to get it out wide. Cannot. Andre gets it forward. There's Raheem Edwards. He's on the run. He's got some space. Bendick intercepts that cross, but it's a good thought. Junior Ramos is a little tired. 2 minutes of stoppage time. Mendez gets it forward. There's Jackson Amell. Gets it stolen. Orlando starting the counterattack. Sasha Kleshin. Cabrera steals it from Maddox easily. Gets it down to Jackson Amell. He outmuscles the fullback. He's looking wide. He's centering pass is deflected, so that's going to be a corner. 30 seconds to go. It looks like we're going to end up with a thrilling 0-0 draw. Sasha, question. Okay, here goes Raheem Edwards. He's going to chase it down. This is going to be the last highlight. One last counterattack, maybe? No. Oh, Romero. He's got 2 men in front of the goal. Sends it. Mendez. Fouled. No. All right, that's it. That's it, boys. 12 shots. 2 on target. 12 fouls. It's a pretty even match. I mean, you gotta say what it was. They played very good defensive match, and we played a very poor offensive match. I mean, our forwards were just terrible. That's not our team. But their forwards weren't very good either. But yeah, Petrasso, Mane, Vasquez. 6.3, 6.2, 6.2. Not so good. Not so good. Mendez and Romero came in and played a little better. But still, nobody made a play. Nobody played winning football. So that's no good. So we will pep talk these boys. Assertive. Not happy. Should have beat Orlando. So they're going to retain the 5th spot, and we're going to retain possibly the 6th spot. Irvin Mendy playing well out there for Keflavik. All right, so where does that put us? Still 6th. 2 points up in New England now, so that's good. Orlando actually moved ahead of Atlanta United with that draw. It's good for them. And we keep our 0 goal differential. So lovely. All right, what do we got schedule-wise coming up? We got a bit of a Western Conference swing, so we got some interesting games coming up. Houston, FC Dallas, Minnesota, Sporting KC, Real Salt Lake. Then the Canadian Championship with Toronto FC in the semifinals. So again, another tournament coming up. But that'll be for later. So until next time, we're going to come back. I don't know, maybe next game for Houston. I think Houston and FC Dallas, we haven't played those teams much. It might be good to see what they're up to. I mean, we don't need to see Philadelphia again. Forget those guys. But we'll show some of the Western Conference games and see how we stack up. So until then, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.